Imagine if it was your child, your husband, or your wife whose life was so cruelly shattered and totally broken. To every member of Congress, pass a bill that ends this crisis.
We are back with a Fox News alert for you. And our top story today, President Trump telling lawmakers that he wants to make a deal today. And he had some stern words for Democrats about the crisis at our nation's doorstep. Here now to break down the president's address is Republican strategist Dr. Gavin Clarkson. Dr. Clarkson, thank you for joining us this morning. I was really looking forward to talking to you.
Thanks, Heather, and also a belated happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Well, one of the reasons I was looking forward to talking with you is because you live there at the border, so you can speak firsthand about the crisis there. Your response first, overall, to what the president had to say last night.
Well, this was an impressive level of gravitas that we have not seen from President Trump thus far. It was a very impressive speech. It was compact, it was concise, and it was compassionate, and it contained details. He detailed everything. He detailed the humanitarian crisis. He detailed the security crisis. He literally covered everything that demonstrates that there is a crisis. Mm-hmm. And as you said, I live on the border. I was at the Antelope Wells port of entry just this week doing some personal investigation, and we have a serious problem. There's not a physical border. You literally can just hop across a little vehicle fence and poof, you're in Mexico, or vice versa. And unfortunately, that leads to a perverse incentive where, unfortunately, irresponsible parents can either be tricked or can choose to, they'll go for an immigration fraud, show up at the border, and they'll drag their children with them. That little Guatemalan girl who died,
yes.
She died because her father was perpetrating an immigration fraud, which is a felony under our laws. And we ought to consider charges of felony murder in that case.
People on both sides of the border now dying. And then that leads me to my next question, because we hear Democrats and those who are not in favor of a wall saying that this is a manufactured crisis and that the president is lying about the situation.
Well, I'm perfectly happy to invite Chuck and Nancy to join me in my pickup truck, and we'll take a drive along the border, and I can show them where it's totally undefended in New Mexico. In some cases, it's just a dilapidated barbed wire fence. Mm-hmm. What the president says is absolutely correct. We need a pedestrian border, the steel slat barrier. Don't have to call it a wall. It just needs to be effective, but it needs to have the high-tech monitoring that will bring high-speed broadband down to southern New Mexico, so that way we can funnel all the migrants to the port of entry. And as the president said, that will allow us to have the necessary humanitarian resources to deal with emergencies so children won't die.
And the majority of people,
want to encourage.
Yeah, the majority of people seem to agree with you. We can take a look at this Politico poll in terms of illegal immigration across the United States and the Mexico border. 42% of people, they agree with you. They say that it is a crisis. But then you hear Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer speak last night. Even though Chuck Schumer has voted in favor of border wall previously, specifically in 2006, they say that, this is not a crisis.
Well, if it wasn't for double standards, Chuck and Nancy would have no standards at all. Chuck Schumer voted in 2013 for $46 billion of wall construction from President Obama, and he is filibustering legislation passed by the House that's only asking for a tenth of that for President Trump to build a barrier.
Yeah.
So it is totally disingenuous. It is the height of hypocrisy. And again, because the Democrats will not be serious about border security, we have a perverse incentive for irresponsible parents to drag their children across the desert, and children will continue to die until we deal with this problem.
What did you think about the response from Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi last night? I asked people on social media what their thoughts were as it played out, and a lot of people used the word creepy. And then others said, in terms of what they had to say, just, getting past the look of it, which we're going to talk more about, that they obviously weren't willing to work with the president.
I described their performance as totally unencumbered by knowledge. They literally had not a single fact. Everything they said was an attempt at emotion, but there were no facts. And that directly contrasts with the way the president detailed his proposal. He detailed the willingness to negotiate. He detailed the crisis. He detailed all the things that we're trying to fix. And the Democrats respond. The only person throwing a temper tantrum is Chuck Schumer, because he was the one that filibustered the House bill.
Well, Dr. Clarkson, thank you so much for joining us. We couldn't even get into the fact that your wife is a legal immigrant who has done this the legal way. So you know wherever you speak.
She followed the rules. It took her 14 years to get her citizenship, and she does not like people cheating and jumping to the head of the line, which is true for most of the legal immigrants in my community.
We have to go.